might be on list or something, bro.
Hey, Montreal, because
bro, I'm just asking.
Oh man,
I can't take this because you said one thing. I'm chilling. But
I am chilling. I just asked a question.
I'm gonna see y'all next week, bro.
Montreal got podcast empowerment tonight.
Oh man,
That's not the way to. That's
not the way to do it.
Montreal Simmons.
Ben Trail.
Montreal Simmons. He got his sweatpants on like
I'm ready. Nah, I'm going back to the car.
I'm like Doc Rivers.
Oh,
Just get out.
Just go to the car, man. Go to the car. You don't know who they make bank off of them football games. When you was at Parkview, they was making bank off them games. You pack the game out, you making bank off of it. They ain't got to pay y'all nothing. You already had the pads, so nobody ever talks about it, and that's okay because they don't have to. But they're making bank off of these games, these high school games, these football, basketball, baseball, all these games.
I was talking to a local principal.
I thought about something.
Yeah.
All right, the way Ben Simmons is acting.
Yeah.
Is that going to be the new mantra for all NBA superstars to take that approach? James Harden, to get his way out of Houston, came in out of shape. He was so disinterested in the games. When he came out the first game, I think he scored like 30 points, and after that he became totally disinterested, came in out of shape.
Right.
Now Ben Simmons, who is under contract contractually, so he's obligated to still be there. And I don't mind a player wanting to get out, but I believe it's a way that you can get out. And for him to come to practice,
I mean, on a bigger note, is this the next stage of like player empowerment?
If it is, I don't like. I don't like this type of player empowerment. Look, and Dante, we all for player empowerment.
I am for it, but you got to be responsible, dog. Like you still got to be a pro.
That's what I'm saying, yo.
You still got to be a pro.
Like it either.
I don't.
Because I'm thinking of even more examples than that. Like you got James Harden, right? You got what Ben Simmons is right now. But even on a, I guess not as publicized note because of because I guess his demeanor is so different. I mean, look what's going on with Zion right now, and Zion looks out of shape. To say you in training camp. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Now, I'm not sure when the foot surgery happened, right? Because, if you have foot surgery, you can't run.
Right.
Right? But, I mean, as far as when the season approaching, man, the diet got to change, I mean, I understand New Orleans, Louisiana ain't the best place to, try to keep weight off. You know what I'm saying? But, you make enough money to hire a chef for an in-house chef for yourself,
right?
So you got to be a pro at that point. But that's why I'm asking: is this the next wave? Is this the next evolution of what player empowerment looks like? Look, I don't like it. Like I'm looking at stuff like Marvin Bagley. Yeah. Right. Like. His agent is going out putting out stuff saying that he didn't get the extension. Like, yo, you're not even playing on that level. You're not even playing on the level of like a DeAndre Ayton who also didn't get his max money.
Now Marvin Bagley plays for the Sacramento Kings, correct?
Correct.
All right. So So that story is the agent's coming out saying that the reason he's not starting.
Yeah,
is because
the agent's complaining about he not starting for the team and also not getting paid. But I mean, how you gonna argue both of them points at the same time? You're not starting, then
you're not gonna get paid.
You ain't gonna get paid. you got somebody who got drafted way behind you in a lower draft position, giving them a lot more value than you are.
Right
when they step out on that court.
Right.
I mean, and NBA is a whole different story, man. Like when you got your top 15 players, that's some of the best athletes that's ever touched the basketball court, and that's you gonna have on your team.
That's true.
Like it's not, football. You got a 53-man roster, and you probably would you expand out to what 70 something if you include practice squad.
Yep.
Right. So that's 70 per team. That's 32 teams. That's a lot of players. Look at NBA, man. It's 32 franchises, and you about 15, 16 players each team. That's a lot more elite, as far as the percentage of
these veterans playing longer.
Exactly. Now the veterans sticking around. Yeah, I mean, Brian 37, Chris Paul 37, I believe 36, 37. Like, these guys sticking around. So if you make it to the end of the bench, you can ball.
So what do you attribute for this new wave of player empowerment? Like, what do you attribute the way that they're trying to get out of their contracts by sitting out or throwing fits like a baby? That's basically what Ben Simmons doing. So is that a correlation of the society we live in as far as social media and entitlement? Because obviously, when Ben Simmons was at LSU. Mm-hmm. It wasn't no secret how Ben Simmons was at LSU. Mm-hmm. Like, Ben Simmons refused to go to class.
Yep.
Now, one may say, okay, you knew you're going to be the first pick in the draft, and I get that. But it's also, like you said, Dante, you have some type of responsibility.
Yeah.
Like, you are there on you are on a basketball scholarship,
right?
But you are considered a part of that scholarship. Is in return you go to class and get your lesson out.
Yeah.
And so they said they had to go get him one time from his dorm because the dude wouldn't go to class, bro.
Compliance didn't check on.
No, they did have to go get him. And man, it was a story. My brother was at a car dealership one time,
right? And
it was like 11 o'clock in the morning, like on a Wednesday. And he said he walked in. He said there was Ben Simmons. This was Ben Simmons was at LSU. He said it's chilling, it's sitting there, right? And my brother said
all 6'11" of him.
My brother said, dude, I was there literally. My brother said I was there probably for an hour and a half. He said when I left, Ben Simmons was still there. And so it was this whole thing where there's nothing new. And so obviously, however you are in college, without money, when you get money, it's just going to be magnified.
Yeah.
And so for a grown man, for a professional, for Doc Rivers to say, man, just get out of practice, like that's embarrassing. And he's setting a horrible example because you deal with like you were coaching AAU basketball.
Yep.
You know that whole AAU circuit.
Yep.
And how the personality is. So now the kids coming behind him going to see that. And so if they're in that position, man, this how I'm going to handle it.
Right.
But
right.
Who owns those teams?
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. The players in the NBA do run the league.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
But after a while, if they keep acting like this,
it's gonna come back in the CBA some kind of way. That's what. See, them billionaires, they fight different. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They come around and get you in the CBA where they got you locked up for 10 years.
Right.
They got generations of basketball players that come behind that don't necessarily mean they coming at you. But if enough of these actions pile up on top of each other, I can guarantee some kind of high level signal, group of, they send a message and the message disappear after 5 minutes. You know what I'm saying? So, especially given the news that happened this week with Gruden and everything like that.
That's true.
So they probably all on that, that signal app, sending a message and they erase, but they gonna go after them in that CBA.
But my thing is don't mess it up for everybody.
That's what he's doing, bro. Right. That's what he's really doing.
I feel like that's what, even with James Harden, the way he did it, and with Ben Simmons doing it,
right.
Like, you're going to mess up for everybody. Like, players in the NBA association worked hard to get you guys the CBA.
Heck yeah.
You're the only professional league that has control.
Yeah.
Like, the NBA players run the NBA.
Yep. Yeah.
NFL ain't doing that.
No.
As you can see.
No.
Like, you're not going to go in there talking about and doing what Ben Simmons doing.
Them contracts not guaranteed.
They not guaranteed. And then they will blackball you.
Absolutely.
Just like Colin Kaepernick.
Absolutely.
Whatever you want to say about that whole situation, he was blackballed.
Absolutely.
Whatever his intentions were initially, he was blackballed.
Yep.
So the NBA and people like with Ben Simmons, but he has to realize too, man, don't mess it up for everybody. Because at the end of the day, you're not writing your own check.
No, you're not.
you have somebody else signing your check.
That's why he showed up to practice. He's like, wait, hold on. Somebody talked to him. Rich Paul, somebody talked to him. Was like, yo, you got to at least show up to practice.
Yeah. But see, the thing is, bro, like you can show up. Like, I'm not advocating for this, but you can show up and do the drill poorly.
Mm-hmm.
and they'll just say, all right, just sit on the side. It's like, kind of equivalent of your mama telling you to do the dishes, so you half do them.
Right.
And then she say, just get out my kitchen and don't come in here no more.
And you're like, yeah.
And you're like, this is exactly what I wanted anyway.
Right.
You feel me? Like, you could have did that. And it would have came off because like most times it's not a new occurrence for even for NBA players to get kicked out of practice. It's not new.
Right. That's true.
It happens it happens more than you would think that it occurs. NBA players get kicked out of practice all the time, but organizations usually keep it quiet and protect it. For it to be out there, that means the 76ers are like, yo, we are done with this dude.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because and it came out when they interviewed Embiid. Mm-hmm. Yeah, like because I guarantee that's the first person that everybody come to. The GM probably go talk to him, coach, assistant coach or somebody come talk to him. Yo, look, try to lay off him in the press conference. I guarantee you, like a couple of weeks ago when he appeared to have his back and all that, I guarantee you somebody pulled him aside like, hey man, look, let's try to keep it light. Trying to resolve this situation with Ben in the background, and let's try to call some favor with him and try to get him back in the house. You know what I'm saying? But then after this,
I see Embiid did good with the media for a long time.
Absolutely.
Ben. You know what I'm saying? Because for a long time the media was even trying to cause a little thing with whose team it is. Right. Embiid stayed professional the whole time. Yeah. It was like, look, you know what I'm saying? Like we teammates, like we. So he stayed professional about it. Right. But now he like, man, forget about this guy.
Yeah. He did.
Like for real. That's what I mean. So that means the gloves off. Yep. In my opinion, that's what from just reading the tea leaves, that's what it looked like to me, like the gloves off. Yep. So
but then he got kicked out of Ben Simmons got kicked out of practice, but basically refusing to do a drill.
Yeah. He refused to do a defensive drill.
I mean,
you a first team all defense.
We know you can do it.
Ben Simmons, this is not hard. It's not hard for you, bro. And like, there's still stuff out there, like, still reports out there that he's practicing with, in sweatpants, which is fine. But you got your cell phone in your pocket,
right? And one thing I did notice too, and I noticed like he had the sweatpants on. I know even at training camp. Yeah. They are in uniforms. Everybody's in certain uniforms. Right. He didn't have his jersey on. Right. He had a Philadelphia 76ers sweatshirt with the sleeves cut. Right. And where everybody's had their jersey and numbers on. Like that's petty. So it's over because Embiid said, at this point, I don't care about that man. Right. Mm-hmm. Honestly, he does whatever he wants. Mm-hmm. Close quote.
Yep. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm sure somebody just gave him that look like, yeah, look. Right. Just gave him the shrug shoulders before he went to the press conference. Because I'm sure they got some kind of media relations person that meet with all the players before they go into these press conferences. Talk to them and like, hey, look, this is the company line. This is where we going with it. And they probably just like, hey, go get him.
Now, can the Sixers do something petty? And I know he's trying to force his way out. Can he do something petty where, like, you know what? If you cannot play, but we just won't trade you. Like, would a team ever get to that extreme?
I know the first thing they're gonna do is this. I know he's suspended for the first game.
He already losing money.
So he losing money because of
training camp. Because he ain't report training.
But the next home game, he gonna play. And the Sixers organization, they gonna let the fans go crazy on him.
The fans go.
They're going to let the fans do what they want to do and say what they want to say to Ben while you're on the floor.
And honestly, that's the main reason you want out of Philly right now.
Yeah.
That's the main reason you want out of Philly right now.
Yeah.
He don't.
That's the first thing they're going to do.
He don't like the fan base.
They're going to let the fans go at him.
So you think that whole, even like last year in the playoffs, that game where he didn't shoot at all? Yeah. Do you think that was the beginning of him trying to get out of that organization?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. Like it's crazy. It's crazy but here's the thing, and I'm not defending him in any way. I'm honestly not defending either one of these players, even though I really like one of them and I really don't really care for the other one. Like, I really loved Kobe Bryant. Yeah. But Kobe pulled that same BS too in the playoffs. Against
the Phoenix Suns.
Against the Phoenix Suns. He pulled that same
Ben Simmons
stuff.
in the playoffs too.
That's what I'm saying. So that's what I'm saying. And I'm not defending either one of their behavior. Right. But it's crazy how, you know, who you're looking at both. One got rings, another one doesn't.
That's true.
It's crazy how much Wyndham can deodorize the situation.
Like, y'all not familiar with that one.
They was getting on him about how he was hogging the ball and everything like that.
Oh, that part.
And so he just decided. The second half of a closeout game.
I know you're talking about.
All he did was pass the ball. He passed the ball and he was like, all right. Y'all think I hog the ball? Then I'm gonna pass it to everybody. Yeah. Let Shannon Brown shoot this shot. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. and people got on him about it. You know, people got on him in the media. But I mean, like, what you want? Yep. You can't play both sides of this. Either I'm gonna be Mamba or okay, cool, fine. Y'all figure it out.
But what these young dudes have to realize, like Ben Simmons, people like Kobe Bryant,
right,
and LeBron James,
rings.
Okay, I'm just using them two as an example. When they do things like that, as far as I'm not going to shoot in the second half,
right? Brian did it too, right?
Brian, I'm gonna go stand in the corner. Let me tell you why they're doing that. Those are calculated, well thought out moves that they're doing.
Facts.
It's a science behind their madness.
Yep.
Like, they have a reason on why they're doing it. Ben Simmons, in my opinion, and I can be completely wrong, and if I am wrong, I will go back and retract that.
Right.
I just feel like he's throwing a pity party, and he wants his way. He's not getting it.
Yeah.
And that stuff does come back to haunt you and bite you in the butt in the long run. I think it's karma. Like with James Harden, I think James Harden wanted out of Houston. It wasn't so much, okay, I want to go to the Nets with Kyrie or KD, because there was talks of him even going to Philadelphia at one time, going different places. I just think he threw a tantrum, even James Harden, and it wasn't calculated. And now karma comes back, because now you get to the Nets,
hurt his hamstring.
You finally get to the playoffs and you pull your hamstring. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so
I think it's levels to it though, because like the Harden thing was kind of messed up, but at least Harden, when he did play, he still came out there and dropped 30.
The first game.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like
I feel like that's even more petty though.
Yeah. See, like for me though, like it's just like, all right, cool. Like you do want to leave, but in all that, just do your best to remain professional.
Right.
And Ben Simmons, like he ain't really doing it.
And Ben was like the LSU man.
Yeah.
Then Ben Simmons too, like it looks like he has like you said, like it's not calculated. Mm-hmm. Like all of a sudden he was like, I'm gonna show up because I'm losing money.
Right.
And then all of a sudden he's like, oh yeah, I don't want to practice no more. And then he gets suspended. And it's like it don't feel calculated. Like it feel like he just being immature about it.
Yeah, I think what up, y'all?
You've been quiet for the first part of this podcast.
Real quiet for the first part.
I didn't know you were mad at us or what.
Yeah, he been real quiet for the first part, huh? Yeah. I'm not gonna mess with him. I'm not gonna mess with him this week.
I knew.
I'm not gonna mess with him this week.
I know you trying to ask me well.
I'm not gonna say nothing.
It's homecoming on the yard.
But since you brought it up,
homecoming on the yard. It is homecoming on the yard.
But since you brought it up.
And it wasn't nothing. It was just a business meeting.
But since you brought it,
it was a business meeting.
But since you brought it up,
it was a business meeting.
You brought it up. I didn't.
Business meeting.
So Montreal,
straight business, man. Straight business.
You know, I feel like we were. You know what? Forget this. We're not gonna be all professional and podcasty.
That's a new one, podcast.
Because podcast is what's a podcast is like. The audience should feel like what. That they're sitting in here with us.
Right. So
we're gonna get a little dialogue.
Studio.
We're gonna be real.
Oh man,
we're gonna be real honest with our audience right now.
Hey, we got to get back to Ben Simmons, man.
We ain't getting back to the Ben Simmons. We're gonna get back to Ben Simmons. So obviously, for if you watching this podcast, we start at a certain time.
We do.
Yeah, usually you've been watching it. Montreal always leads us in. It has a great, outstanding introduction.
Music playing.
Who did the intro tonight? Who did the intro?
We just came in.
You'll see it. You'll watch it when Swag edited.
And the music stuff, man.
No, so Montreal does a great job with the music. He does a great. Hey, what's up? Welcome to episode Blase. This is Dante. This is Doug. He runs it. Does an outstanding job.
This is episode 17, by the way.
Yeah, this is episode 17. This is Dante. I'm Doug, and this is I don't know who this is. We about to figure it out though. And so we always start at a certain time. Don't you turn the music off right now. Turn it off. Nah, this don't need music. So we always start. We always start at a certain time. And we get a text message. tonight, hey, y'all, just running without me, I'm going to be 20 minutes late. Not 5, not 10, but 20 minutes late.
Like, did you plan your day out today?
And so, this brings back to the question. So you all been ducking every time we say something, you've been ducking it.
Real tears.
A few weeks ago, you went to the movies.
When? I don't remember going to the movies.
Oh yes, you did.
I said I went to the movie with a bunch of friends.
Yeah, but I don't believe that. And then you bring up the situation. You always bring up the USC trip.
Oh man, bro.
How your friends?
Bro. Just because we talking about culture. That's the only reason,
but somehow you just bring it up anyway. I think one time I was in the foyer in the lobby of the office talking. He's like, "Yeah, trip at USC." We was talking about geometry. He was like, "Oh, USC? Like, wait, what?"
Dante, what we been talking about?
Now we want to talk about geometry. God knows we want to talk about geometry.
No, not at all.
But yeah, you just bring up USC. So welcome to
the Evergreen Pod.
Appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for having me tonight, man.
Bro, I appreciate it. Bro.
I've been excited, man. I've been trying to get on the pod for like 17 weeks, man. So this lit. This lit.
He come in and turn the music on like we just.
Yeah, welcome to the. Put the music on, man. That's funny, dog.
Hey, it's like when you walk into work, bro, real late, and you just hurry up and start throwing stuff down like you're real mad.
Yeah.
So somebody come and ask you.
Oh my God.
Man. Hey man, what happened? Man, you won't believe the traffic.
You won't believe the traffic, man. Traffic on both sides.
You know what my trail was just now? Dante swag. You know how we was just talking just now? You be talking just in general, talk in a group, right?
Right.
And so it's that one dude that come in and don't know what y'all talking about. Yeah, hey, man, trimming, man, be trimming, dog. That's how my trail can't sit down.
And said, man, he act like an LSU. I was like, man, Doug said that about 10 minutes.
Dante was like, yeah.
So Dante trying to play it off. That's what I said that already. I'm trying to do to get in a conversation and don't know what's going on. Hey, bro. Hey, Ben.
I ain't know what to do, bro.
Hey, if y'all listen to this, I am crying, dog.
He crying
for real.
He got the music still.
I had to jump in, bro. Like double dutch, but you don't know where to get in. You just gotta jump in and start dancing, dog.
Bro. We was talking about Ben Simmons independence in the player empowerment.
Okay.
Is that the right way to go about player?
All right, I didn't put the music.
So we could get your opinion on player empowerment. Like we all for player empowerment, but the way that
he's got to handle it the right way.
How he's going about it.
My trail got podcast empowerment to make.
Oh man,
that's not the way to. That's not
the way to do it.
My trail Simmons.
Ben Trail.
Ben Trail Simmons. He got his sweatpants on like
I'm ready. I'm going back to the car.
I'm like Doc Rivers.
Oh,
just get out.
Just go to the car, man. Go to the car. You don't know what we're talking about. God, no, but it's the best, bro. Boy, good laugh, boy. But Ben, all right. So Ben, what we talking about Ben? Just player.
No, we talking about player empowerment. Period. Because like what we brought up earlier was like, I'm like, is this a new wave of player empowerment?
Right. And we're pro player empowerment. I think we're pro.
I agree.
Yeah, we're all pro player empowerment. I mean, from college, basketball, football, all that.
And the situations might be different.
I mean,
like he ain't ready yet.
Because he's still.
No, I'm still wiping tears. But like, we talking about even the situations are very various, but
right.
You got Marvin Bagley Jr.
Yep.
You got DeAndre Ayton.
Right.
You got Zion coming in out of shape and foot surgery and everything like that.
Right.
Ben Simmons, Kyrie Irving.
Right.
These are all players.
I mean, AD did it. AD did it.
AD did it and got out of New Orleans.
Sure did.
Like, is this a new wave of player empowerment? And if James Harden, like, if this is a new wave of player empowerment, like, where in the world are we going from here? Yeah,
that's true. And I'm trying to find the line between player empowerment and then just integrity.
Yeah.
I think that's the word. You know what I'm saying? I think it's to find the line between those two. Since we're talking about Ben, and we can talk about some other ones, because I saw a post earlier talking about Zion was up like over 300 pounds in the offseason.
You know what? It wasn't reported.
Right. That's crazy.
Yeah, you look it too.
You look it on that commercial. You saw that Mountain Dew commercial?
Bro, yes.
I was like, who is this linebacker?
That boy Puffy.
Hey, that boy looked like that big dude off y'all remember Class Act, the movie?
Yeah. Right.
Like the big dude.
And they got a bunch of snacks in front of me. I'm like, man.
Bro.
Who let this get out?
I don't know, bro. But I think it's a problem. When I found out the other day that no diss on nobody, if anybody hear this, but that his family members are his trainers and his chef.
Yeah.
You know, that says something to me, because sometimes you need to separate from that familiar tie sometimes to get some professional things.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to tell you something that maybe you don't want to hear, or do some things you don't want to do.
And we talked about it last episode.
Yep.
Remember when I think it was Mav Carter and LeBron went to his game, and I heard they even approached him a couple of times, like, "Yo, come to is it Clutch?
Yeah,
Clutch."
Yeah, right.
And he was like, "Nah."
Right. And so there it is then. I mean, Clutch would be the place to go. Now, speaking of Clutch, though.
I mean, you ain't got to join Clutch, but you got to be professional, like you say.
Can sometimes, like, even as a player, like, you want your own individuality. Like, you want to be yourself. You want to create your own legacy.
Right.
Because I can remember that time when this is pre-pandemic, okay, when LeBron came to the Pelicans, and this was LeBron was going like on that little streak. They played the Pelicans, Clippers, Bucks, and he was giving people buckets.
Yeah, I remember. I think I went to that game.
I went to that game.
Yeah, right,
he dropped like 38.
Yeah.
It went crazy.
Yep. Right.
With Zion. After the game, you know, like LeBron tried to, after the game, impart wisdom to younger players, whatever. Now, whether he's doing it for I really don't think he's doing it for sure. I think he's really trying to
talk to him. Right.
Really trying to talk to him.
Yeah.
But Zion kind of brushed him off.
Yeah.
In a sense.
Right.
You know, I think sometimes that part, that ego and pride part, can overshadow what you really may be missing, what is important to you.
Absolutely.
Right.
It's always a battle between generations. We've learned that it's always a battle between the generation before, the new generation, the generation coming. And it seems like it's always a battle when, in actuality, I think sometimes we need to embrace the differences.
Yep.
And there's basic principles in every generation that just works. That goes through I don't care what generation you're in. I don't care if it's 19, whatever. There's basic principles about life that work. And I think sometimes we miss out on that. You know what I'm saying? You miss out on, and I don't know if it's because you're a competitor. I don't know you was butthurt because you lost, you know what I'm saying? Or what it was. But sometimes you miss out on that just because, just generation. I want my own. You know, it's not your own. Y'all all co-workers anyway. We're working all this together anyway in the grand scheme of things. And so sometimes, that's just what I guess the humility and all that comes in. So I got a question. So we're talking about Ben when I jumped in so abruptly. So what I think is going on with Ben, this is me, because Ben is Clutch. All right. He's Clutch Sports, right? And I've seen Clutch make these plays before. They did it with AD.
Yep.
I've seen it. I think I've seen it with another player. I'm not sure who else, but I've seen Clutch make these plays. So I know
it was LeBron.
It was LeBron, right? So I can believe, So I can believe that Rich Paul will give you some good advice to give you leverage. Okay, I believe that they can do some things to give leverage, right?
Right.
But I don't think this the move that he told Ben to do. I think Ben
don't have the leverage.
Well, but that's what I'm saying. I think he want to put Ben in a place to get leverage. I always say that Ben came back and played.
Well, I mean, is the contract leverage, isn't it?
Well, I'm talking about leverage for trade. Like if you really want to get traded and go somewhere. Right now, nobody wants to trade for him.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Nobody that they want.
Right.
Well, like that. Nobody that they want. Right. You know what I'm saying? Which, of course, if your skill level goes up or people think whatever, then they'll do whatever it's performance. Now, if Ben would have came back, chilled out, stayed in practice, and played and hooped for the first
that's it.
15, 20 games, just hoop, triple doubles, whatever, just hoop. Then after that, if you want to sit out, you can, because they're going to be coming trying to talk to you. Right now, we're left with still Ben Simmons can't shoot. We're left with the last impression that we had of Ben Simmons, which was he cannot shoot. Now, we talk about whether we believe that is true or not, you know what I'm saying? But the last impression we saw of Ben in that playoffs is Ben not only couldn't shoot, but did not shoot the game. And that's the last taste we got in our mouth. You know what I'm saying? That's the last.
He likes the optics, and then like somebody
pause.
Oh, the caliber of Ben is like he can't shoot in 2021 of NBA.
Right.
Yeah.
So this would be different if like it was the 60s or the 70s.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But 2021, everybody shooting.
Everybody shooting. Everybody got. You see, Giannis trying to shoot more. You know, he's shooting a little bit better this year. You know what I'm saying? Just in the first few games, preseason games we saw, that just got to happen. And so I don't know if that's the advice they give. I don't think that's the advice they're giving him.
I don't think so either. Because even you say, well, like with AD, when AD forced his trade, what did he do? He did hoop.
Yeah, he hooped.
He played, but now I think he played limited minutes, but he still was out there.
And he was hooping.
He was still hooping. You know,
leverage with that. Like he was a top 10 player,
and he was still playing.
Yeah,
like Ben just on some even James Harden. Like you said, James Harden played,
right,
but just was out there.
And then he served his time, quote unquote. You know what I'm saying? He did make it to the playoffs. He made it to the second round, I think. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like he played good for the team.
Right. And then here's another thing. Ben has not done anything to, I don't know. Do y'all think Ben think he top 10 in the league? You think Ben think he up there?
He's talking about defense.
In his own mind.
He can.
Oh, yeah.
I know what he can be. I know what we believe about him. But I'm talking about he hadn't done anything. He hadn't won nothing in the playoffs. He hadn't done anything. He's not even the number one guy on his team. You get what I'm saying?
That's true.
Like he has, like we talking about AD, we talking about James.
You think if you ask him that, you think he?
No, I know. That's exactly what I'm saying. So now that can go to your head. AD and James Harden. We seen James Harden win an MVP. You know what I'm saying? We seen James Harden, do all these different things, triple doubles and everything, and still be scoring 40 and 50 games. We saw it. Like we know what James Harden is worth. You know what I'm saying? Like we saw AD killing, whoever, could nobody guard him. We watched this. We have yet to see anything like that from Ben Simmons. We believe it. And he might have had good games, but I'm talking about we have yet to see. How many years he been in the league? Been in the league how many years? 5, 6?
5, I believe.
Yeah,
he had one really good year though.
Out of how many? Yeah. Exactly. You see what I'm saying? So,
but I think that's the thing with Ben though. Like I think that's why he really frustrated.
And they paid him
because they changed the scheme to tailor towards Embiid more. Mm-hmm. I remember when Embiid was hurt one of those years for a long time, and Ben was just going off because it was a different style of play. Right. It was fast.
Right.
Well, that's the thing.
And he had shooters around him.
Right.
But now he had shooters around him.
It's different, yeah.
And like he can attack the lane because Embiid wasn't down there.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So if you want to be a number one on a team, and you want a team that's going to build a scheme around you, you know what I'm saying? Then that's another ball game. But I think there's just a way to go about it. How many years he got left on his contract? Anybody know? What 1, 2 years, 3 years, maybe?
I believe next summer he can get out of it as a free agent. I believe. If I'll need to look at Sports Track though.
Yeah, see, it's just one of them things, man. I think that the attitude and the bad taste in the mouth is a bad situation. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times people don't want to deal with that type of thing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They just don't want to deal with it. Now, I get it. If I was a coach, I wouldn't want to. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you're gonna, as a person, if you're gonna quit on me. You know what I'm saying? Like just stop on me. Then nobody wants that type of person on their team.
No, they don't.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. We're gonna see.
I don't like you said. I don't think they're telling him to do that.
I can't see Clutch to tell him to do that. I think they told him to go back. Mm-hmm. I think for him to go back and play and practice, I think they told him that. But I think it's y'all ready for it? It's that same old Dante. You probably more familiar with this than we are, but it's that same AAU mentality. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? It's just, you glorifying them kids real young. You've been in the AAU portal for all your life. Everybody been telling you since you got 6 foot, you know what I'm saying, at 12 years old. Everybody been telling you that's it. They've been coddling you.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And then even so, you've been coddled a little too much in your 4 or 5 years in the league. And then they actually paid you without a jump shot. He got a max contract, didn't he?
Yes, they did.
Yes.
They gave you a max without a jump shot. You know what I'm saying? And I know all the intangibles. I know he's great on defense. Mm-hmm. I know running. I know, in transition, you know what I'm saying? And getting to the rim, like he can do that. But they gave you max money without a jump shot.
Right.
That's a little bit of coddling, man. And I don't know who that's the GM issues or whatever, but that's coddling, man.
And a lot of times they do contracts off of potential too. Yeah. And so I think they see the potential. And so their hopes is, okay, if this guy is a professional, I'm pretty sure he can develop to a jump shot. But honestly, I don't know what it is. What if he never develops a jump shot? Even I think right now,
I think he already got it
with Russell Westbrook.
Mm-hmm. Russ had a jumper 1 year, bro. It was 1.5 years he was hitting jumpers.
Crazy thing is they could have had the solution.
Who?
The Sixers could have had the solution.
What's that?
Because instead of drafting Jason Tatum, they drafted Markelle Fultz.
Oh yeah, it's true.
I think the very next year after Ben.
You ain't lying.
Like they had the solution. They
sure did.
They picked the wrong person.
God dog. You ain't lying.
The wrong person.
That was a weird one though because he can shoot in college.
Who?
Markelle
Fultz.
Yeah, Markelle's a bucket.
Like something happened. I don't know.
I don't know what happened.
I don't trust. It's going to be off on a tangent. I don't trust players coming out of college from the West Coast.
Okay.
Really?
I don't.
Like
I can see that.
Coming from the West Coast, I don't trust.
Because
I don't trust them coming out of Gonzaga. I don't trust them coming out of USC.
Hey, OJ Mayo came from West Coast, didn't he?
USC.
You ain't lying. OJ Mayo was a bucket in the.
He was. I don't trust. I've never trusted players coming out the West Coast to play in the league.
Highly touted for sure. Yeah.
What about like Baron Davis, all them boys?
Well, Baron was Arizona.
UCLA.
That's probably like the last generation of players that I would trust.
Yeah.
It's probably like the last.
Are you talking about?
I'm talking about new. I'm talking about new.
Okay.
Yeah, because they had some that came out.
Yeah.
But that was when Hoop was different too.
Right.
Hoop was a little different.
Like I don't trust him coming out of Washington. I don't trust him coming out of like.
Why you say that?
I'm just looking at track record.
Oh,
Right.
okay.
I'm just looking at track record. Like, kid, like let's say, I'll just start naming some. Some of them you might know. Some of them you might like Bobo, right?
Right.
He's gonna be injury wreck. He's most likely his entire career. He's
Right.
gonna be injury wreck. As you already said, OJ Mayo.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. And OJ was a bucket in college.
He was.
Right.
Yep.
Man, old boy's a bucket in college.
Who that?
Adam Morrison.
Adam Morrison.
Sure was.
That boy
Adam
like the
Morrison.
new Larry Bird. But
Right.
He was.
They thought they were gonna come in and tear it loose too.
You know what I'm saying? And I mean, even cats like Jimmer Fredette, like even though it's not the coast, that's the out west. Like I don't trust that. Like that basketball after dark out west.
Right. Now you think
it's all after dark for us because
do you
we
think
in
it's
the
the
east side.
competition? What you say? Do you think it's the competition? Do you think it's like football? We know SEC, you know, Big 12, whatever it is. Like we know, all right, we know something coming out of caliber. They playing every week. They playing that game. You know what I'm saying? Is it that type of mentality the same way with that with basketball?
For me, it's a style thing. Like they love to they like playing like a lot of teams out there are just freewheeling, run and gun. Right. And they can get away with it because they can get away with it. But thing is, they get to the league, they find out that like that shot that you could get off in college, you can't get off in the league. Like you can't get it off in the league.
Like that's why that's why they got locked up in the championship game.
Yeah,
absolutely. No, that's exactly why.
Yeah,
I mean, terribly. Like it was almost embarrassing.
Yeah, you saw the defense, like the way Baylor was playing defense, like that. Like that's the type of stuff that I've seen on a consistent basis out of teams that either make it into the 64 and make it deep.
Right.
They always dime out at about Sweet 16, Elite 8.
Yep.
And
it'll figure them out.
It'll be somebody from the Midwest. It's just it'll be somebody like Creighton just knock them off. Like
figure them out, bro. That's true.
That's true.
It's one of them like Chicago-based teams like that. It's somebody like that really get down and dirty on defense and lock them up.
Yep.
And and they'll tap out.
Right.
They tap out. They'd be tapping out quick too.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
They sure do.
Like
end up being a blowout or something like that. Yeah.
I'm really racking I think maybe that kid Jeffries maybe from Stanford is probably like the last one I can think of.
Probably Westbrook and Kevin Love.
Yeah,
but like Westbrook,
they
college,
still was kind of.
Oh, way back, man.
Yeah, they still kind of.
I mean, we looking at the end of Westbrook's career.
Oh, right.
Yeah, right. That's true. Yeah,
okay. Okay, so you saying like more recent?
Yeah, I'm saying
Westbrook been in the league, what, 9 years, 10 years?
No.
Been longer than that?
Like 12.
Like 12, 13.
God, dog.
I know.
Yeah.
You gonna be forgetting because he still got his springs.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I mean, he was after KD.
Yeah, that's true. This is true.
So. That's just a small. I look like it was a big tangent now. We took y'all way off.
No, that's it. That's interesting. That's interesting to think about.
Speaking of tangents, somebody needs to go off a tangent with the owner of the Washington, the national, what they call
Washington football team.
With the Washington football team, with the tribute for Sean Taylor.
Oh man. Go ahead, Dante. Go ahead, Dante.
You got that.
I was like, that's messed up.
Can we read the thing? I want to read the thing.
Absolutely.
I want to read the thing. What you send me? You want me to read it?
I don't have to read that. You can read it, but I got it.
All right, go ahead.
Like, break down why
that boy got to memorize. Go ahead.
All right, so Sean Taylor.
If you know anything about Sean Taylor.
If you know anything about football, college or pro, Sean Taylor is probably one of, if not the best safety to ever touch a 100-yard field.
Yeah.
He basically was linebacker size for the time he was playing football. He was basically linebacker size, and he can run a 4.4, cover the entire field. You know, he could probably single high safety, cover the entire field, and he'll still come down on the run and blast a 240-pound running back.
Right.
Like, it was absolutely ridiculous to watch him play.
And he could cover.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and he could cover.
He could cover. He can return punt. He could return punts.
Hands.
Which a lot. I'm saying that because a lot of those safeties that may be real good, or those all over the field guys, sometimes they have trouble covering.
He'll track a ball down mid-flight and then turn it around and go score 6.
Absolutely.
Right. Like this the type of player. He was a good dude off the field.
Yep.
He's still Florida boy. He South Miami.
Right,
he did his thing.
Right.
But overall, he didn't get arrested for no craziness outside ever off the field.
Right.
He was a family man. He actually that's how he ended up being murdered. He was protecting his family.
Right.
It's crazy, like how we'll talk about Pat Tillman a certain way.
Come on.
And we'll talk about Sean Taylor a totally different sort of way.
This is the truth.
But here no doubt. So this is the caliber player that we were talking about. So the Washington football team decided that, given all their craziness that's been going on for the last 2 weeks, that they're going to pop up a surprise retirement of his jersey, which got a lot of blowback from the fans because a lot of these fans were fans of Sean Taylor. Like they were fans of Sean Taylor and they wanted to be there for the game, but they put it out on Twitter like 4 days before Sunday that they were going to be retiring his jersey. So basically, I don't know if you found the tweet yet, but basically,
I haven't, but I was looking at it.
you go read some of the stuff that went on with this craziness.
But the road was rededicated in front of the porta potties. It's a terrible picture.
Right? They rededicated the road called the Sean Taylor Drive, I believe.
Sean Taylor Road.
Sean Taylor Road.
Yeah, but it's right in front of the porta potties.
They took the picture in front of porta potties.
Right. The sideline number tribute was in the area where the VIP stand.
On top of that, behind that part, Patrick Mahomes' brother, the younger brother, who probably didn't know who Sean Taylor was made a TikTok just dancing on top of the number.
Right. He didn't know.
Okay, go ahead.
He clearly didn't know. The halftime ceremony involved no speeches or recognition.
Highlight film, nothing.
Bruh, that's horrible, bro.
Oh, they ain't even no highlight film?
No.
That's horrible, bro.
They basically put the jersey out there, walked his family out there. Look, it's basically.
Well, I know. All right, yeah.
And
the owner wore a hoodie to the pregame meeting with the family.
The owner wore a hoodie. You know what it reminded me about?
You a billionaire, man.
Hey, let me.
That kind of reminded me of like at a college football game when
they just walk them out on the side.
They walk. They say, "Hey, here's the track team." You walk in and it's waved to everybody.
They get a half clap from everybody and
because
go walk
nobody
back off.
because it's halftime.
Right.
Happy eating nachos and people not really paying attention.
Yep.
That's how I feel like that was.
Yeah.
Right.
So why is that?
Well, first of all, can I ask you a quick question? Real quick. Is that his daughter?
I'm not sure.
Okay. I was just asking.
Here we go.
Go ahead. So, go ahead. I'm just asking. Asking who it was.
Stop.
I'm just asking who it was. Look, I'm just asking who it was, but it's all I was asking, bro. I was asking, man.
Everybody trying to start telling stories from Washington.
Bro,
that time I was in DC.
I'm just trying to see.
Hey, I'm going.
She might be or something, bro.
Hey, Batra, because.
Bro, I'm just asking.
Oh, man.
I can't take this because you said one thing. I'm chilling.
I am chilling. I just asked a question.
I'm gonna see y'all next week, bro.
Just ask a question. Go back, Doug. Go back. I just asked one little question, man. Like I just asked that was okay. So Doug asked why. He asked why. Why
Daniel Snyder.
I can't.
Daniel Snyder.
She might be young, bro. I'm just asking.
You know, man. What Kiara at?
On a.
Like, I ain't saying it though. Go ahead. And she ain't got nothing to do with me, by the way.
I can just do it here, bro.
Go ahead, man.
Hey, but he was in a business meeting before.
I was.
He was in a business meeting before this.
Man, you gonna make Dante bring them tears out again, man? We ain't doing it.
But you're doing it to yourself, though.
I shouldn't have asked, but I thought I was in the. Okay, go ahead, Dante. What you were saying?
So Daniel Snyder, multi-billionaire, owner of the Washington football team. I mean, I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure this comes from him because say what you want about him, he's might be, terrible owner, was running a terrible organization, right. Was had his people in key positions, harassing women, sending nude pictures of women back and forth through email. Right. But he does love that team. Right. He loves that team. He loves the players on that team.
Always has since he took it over. I remember that, right?
And and is it as reported? One player he absolutely loved was Sean Taylor. Right. As anybody else did that watched football during the early 2000s. Mm-hmm. Right. So for this to be the quote unquote tribute to his professional career as a football player and his life as a man. The way, this came off as described is like, oh, you just threw this out here to cover up everything else that's been going on in your crappy organization.
And with Gruden and all this, since all that stuff come out and all that too, right? Do you think though? So do you think that it was? We know this is what I'm about to say at the beginning, but do you think it was rushed because of this? But they would have done it better if they had time to do it right. Like, do you think the organization would have done it the right way if they felt like they didn't need to rush and throw something out for this particular time? You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Yeah. When you're trying to cover stuff up, you're trying to hurry up, throw this over, and throw the dust over it.
I mean, his name is slipping my mind, but a couple years ago, a pitcher for the Marlins died in a tragic boat accident.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Right.
They did 2 days later put together a tribute to him that was awesome. Right. Basically, he put his number out there on the mound. Right. Had his wife and his fiance and his daughter come out there, and the team greeted him, and they they stood on the baseline, base path, and just clap for him and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Like, it was a beautiful tribute. Somebody, it doesn't take long, right. If you got the right people in place,
and you got to set it up right. You got to do it right.
So that just goes to speak to the way the organization is being run from the top down.
Right. What did they do for him right after? Y'all remember? I don't know. Did they do anything for him soon after? Sean Taylor.
I can't remember
because it wasn't during the season that he passed.
No, it was all season. He what happened was some teenagers broke in to his house. He came downstairs. He didn't have his gun on him in his room. He came down with a machete. And from all the reports that I've read, because I was really invested in, because I wanted to be Sean Taylor when I was was that basically dude that broke in the house just basically closed his eyes and pulled the trigger. Like, he didn't even know he didn't know he even shot it. He just closed his eyes.
Now, the people, the kids that broke in his home, were they like cutting his grass too though?
Yeah, I think they had some kind of access to his home and knew the lay of the land, how to get around and stuff like that, and so they knew how to get in.
That's crazy.
That ended up he was giving them, he paying them, he was breaking them off. Like, that's the type of dude he was, and unfortunately he was dealing with the wrong ones.
Right.
That's crazy, bro.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, I think so. So they threw it out there quick. The gist of the story is they threw it out there quick to try to cover up all of these things that are getting
emails
kicked up in the dust. And there's so many. From what I hear, this rabbit hole is very, very deep. There's a lot of people.
650,000 emails.
650,000 emails. So you can imagine how many people are involved.
Yeah.
And some names that they're trying to cover up. I was watching this other podcast that we like to watch sometimes, and they were saying how there's other names that need to come up out of there.
Man, what?
Yeah, and a bunch of other names that they're trying to protect as far as owners.
So here's my because here's my thing. When you think about it, past 20 seconds is like, okay, so these are the pictures that they were sending out,
right?
John Gruden and Paul and Allen weren't the only two people on this email chain,
right?
Like, what were some of the responses to this? Because
otherwise,
I would assume Daniel Snyder is probably part of this email chain. Like, what was
bro? Do you
like,
know,
y'all need to chill. Like,
bro, do you know how many?
We at work.
You know how many emails? 650,000. You know how many emails that is?
That's a lot,
bro. Do you know how many emails that's a lot of emails, bro.
Yeah.
And nobody said anything. We just started hearing about it right now, and we don't even know what the emails say.
Yeah,
there were people trying to say that's going to come out too.
It's probably going to come out in this lawsuit for some of the cheerleaders and some of the former.
But like you said, at some point, somebody has to say, "Hey,
y'all got to chill."
Hey, y'all wilding, bro.
Hold on. I know we know. And anything you put on paper or on the email can be incriminating to whatever's going on.
Right.
We know that. You know what I'm saying? Not that we're doing anything incriminating, but in it, text all that, pictures, all that stuff. Yep. You know that. So 650,000 emails from all these people that are in top management and leadership positions or coaching or whatever. And none of y'all, but I know why. Why is that happening? Why that happened? Mm-hmm. Because you believe you're invincible.
Yeah.
You believe you're untouchable. And I think you're giving a reason to believe that.
They believe in what they tell us don't exist.
Yeah.
Yep. This is true. This is true, man. There's an article. Dante sent an article yesterday about Coach O.
Yep.
And we don't get over on Coach O. We didn't work
Please
him enough.
Yeah.
But there's 2 paragraphs in there. I think I screenshot and sent it to y'all, and it was saying he said something raggedy to somebody about, it's something implicating putting him in a water hole or something.
Okay, yeah. He basically implicated himself in a murder scheme.
In a murder scheme. Okay, right.
On live radio.
Right.
Nobody said that.
And nobody said nothing. And they said 2 years ago when they won the championship and they were winning, everybody been like, "Oh man, Coach O clowning, man." Yeah. But now when he says something like that,
nah, it's serious
because of the focus. So I asked a question about Gruden, and I think it's so. If Gruden had come off of a Super Bowl, right? Had come off of a Super Bowl, or had come off Super Bowl, or what they were undefeated right now, and Vegas was like America's team, like we're rooting for them right now, right? Would we still see this reaction?
I have so many thoughts about this whole situation. I have so many. Like, me personally, I think the only reason it came to light is because his comments about the commissioner.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
right.
That's true.
Right.
That's honestly.
So you think if the comments never came out about the commissioner?
Now what he said? Hold on. Now, tell me real quick what he said about the commissioner.
Well, he used a gay slur
for Goodell.
For Goodell.
Okay. Okay.
Basically, say he's the F word. Basically.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's basically what came out, and that's what I believe ultimately led up to him being fired. Because I think he would have got past the DeMaurice Smith stuff.
Right.
Honestly, I was kind of pissed. I was like,
I'm even past the Goodell stuff.
Is it like?
Because it was such a sad attempt at racism that I was just like, that's just stupid.
I don't even know if he's trying to be, hang 'em, lynch 'em racist. I think it's just
run of the mill racist. Dollar store racism.
Yeah, it's at the golf club, at the golf club resort racism, right? You know what I'm saying?
Country club
racism. And even because the other podcast I was saying, it was like, the Michelin tire thing is like, everybody clown and stuff like that. But I think, like you were saying, when it gets to a certain level of people,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Now they got a problem with it.
Yeah.
And I also believe, too, that when I first heard John Gruden contract, I thought that was ridiculous.
10 years, 100 mil.
I said, what? And the first move he did was got rid of Mac.
Mm-hmm.
What's his name?
Khalil Mack.
Khalil Mack. That's the first move he does.
Your best player.
Also got rid of the black GM.
Okay, that too, right? And then I'm saying, okay, this is ridiculous.
Hi, Mike Mayock off of NFL Network.
Mike Mayock off of TV.
He's like a Mel Kiper NFL Network.
Bingo.
So that leads me down to now. How did these emails get found? Anybody know the source of them?
They were part of the investigation of these women who pictures were sent us.
Right,
and see,
that's the crazy thing.
And that's the crazy thing. everybody's focused on like the Gruden situation. Like, yo, this is much worse.
Yeah, that's crazy. And they really skirted that
like,
over.
Like y'all can go to jail.
Yeah, right.
You're not losing your job. You want to jail.
Right. They were. To be honest, the energy that they needed for that case. Well, they still got it going on.
Oh, they still got it.
But it would have been a whole lot quicker and way done over if they were a couple years earlier. If they were a year or two earlier, in the midst of the Me Too, like the
if
peak
it
of
would
the
have
Me Too,
if it would have hit about the same time, like they're like hit is unfortunate word.
No, but
if it would have hit around the same time, like the Ray Rice stuff went down,
yeah, boy, yeah.
Oh, they would have burnt the building down.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
He would have burned the building down.
Absolutely.
Still probably deserve to burn the building down because I haven't seen the nature, but just reading up on what the general nature, what it seems like was going on. Mm-hmm. Yeah, some of y'all probably gonna end up, locked up.
Well, you think? You think there about to be some? I think Gruden may have been a sacrificial lamb.
Absolutely.
You think they're gonna be some more sacrificial lamb? They're not going to the owners. They're not touching the owners.
It depends on how high the heat. There's always gonna be a sacrificial lamb, and it goes with the pay grade. Basically,
That made me think about the movie. Remember the Jim Carrey movie where he hired him to be the president of the company, and then the next day it crashed. I don't know if you've ever seen that movie yet. And he's had to take the rap for it, and he was about to go to jail for it.
Yeah.
It's like that type of lick.
Yeah.
Like that type of thing. There's gonna be some people gonna take some.
Yeah.
They may get paid for it, but they're gonna take them licks.
Might have to do some time for them too.
Man, for real. So you can cross over that line.
So
man, that's wild, man. That's wild.
Crazy. Well, speaking about getting paid,
crazy, bro.
Shout out, and this is a historic. Shout out Don Staley, South Carolina women's basketball.
Yep. Historic. Golly.
Look, and how you feel? Black woman gets extended $22.4 million.
Wow.
That don't happen.
Nope.
Every day.
Nope. Any day.
Any day.
Right.
Ever. Like literally ever. Like she's the first woman in pro, in not even pro sports. She's a collegiate basketball coach.
Right.
That hit Big Bang Hank now, man.
Hey, bro. I love it.
So shout out to you, Don Staley. Shout out to the South Carolina leadership that believed in her enough to put that type of trust in her.
Absolutely. And I'm glad that she's doing it like she's doing it. You get what I'm saying? Like the prestige, the integrity.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And then the results on the court. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Right. And people, if you go back and Dawn Staley was the hoop too.
Yes, she did.
She's a hooper. This is Olympic.
Yeah, break down that history.
She just won.
You know
she won the Olympic gold, and she coached the Olympic team to go this past summer.
Right, and Dawn Staley was playing a little bit before WNBA, right? Like a little bit before.
I believe she was like right in the mix of when everything was kicking off.
Starting, right. So, that's huge, man. You know what I'm saying? Even to have that type of clout without being a quote unquote professional athlete in a professional league. You know what I'm saying?
To not be coaching men and get paid.
Right.
A women's college basketball.
That's crazy.
$22 million, bro.
That's crazy.
That's a lot.
That's crazy.
But that can
you're a lady. You're a woman.
But that can also attest to how much money that program is bringing in too.
Yeah.
They probably their program and their games are probably
well if you watch these things closely, you look at it was Muschamp, right?
Yeah.
They just had to buy his contract out.
They did.
Last year during COVID, they had to buy his They bought his contract out.
Explain to me because
he was the head coach.
He's the head coach of South Carolina football.
Okay.
And they fired him.
Okay.
So when they fired him, you got to pay, and they got to pay out the rest of the contract. Buy out the contract.
Right.
And for them to turn around the next year, basically, and pay Don Staley like this.
It's so much money, bro.
No, and that's what I'm saying. See, NIL is just a tip of the iceberg,
bro.
It is, bro.
But let's go for it, man.
But hey, at least we right now, at least
we open it up, man. Open it up, bro.
It's so much money, bro.
Yeah, but no. But I was trying not to say something either. I already know.
There's so much money.
There's so much money out there.
So, but shout out Don Staley. Shout out South Carolina women's basketball.
Yep.
I'm very happy to hear good things like that, still happening for good people.
Right.
So
$22 million.
God,
a little.
anybody else need a coach?
I'm saying for real.
You can go on a lot of dates with $22 million.
Boy, hey. I got another. Go ahead. I got another shout out. The fact that Jackson State versus Alabama State. Am I saying it right?
Yep.
Had more people in attendance in their game on this past Saturday,
in Power 5
than the Power 5 in the Alabama and Mississippi State, which is both of those Alabama and Mississippi schools playing. They were playing where? Where were they playing at?
Stark Vegas. They were playing
Alabama, Mississippi State played in Mississippi State, and then Alabama State played at Jackson. So both teams were in Mississippi. Yeah,
and the Alabama State Jackson State game,
I'll do wrong.
Outdrew had more people.
Had like 58,000.
Hold on.
Yeah.
No, you gotta repeat that.
The Jackson State versus Alabama State. Jackson State is Dion. Yeah, okay. Versus Alabama State.
SWAC.
In the SWAC. Both of the SWAC team had a larger attendance
than the SEC.
Alabama. Nick Saban, Alabama.
Yeah. Crimson Tide, Alabama.
And Mississippi State.
Who and where?
Starkville, Mississippi.
SEC is what? Like that's like
SEC is NFL junior, right? Like that.
Yeah, it's like the minor leagues. Minor leagues for the NFL.
So
I'm not actually asking for myself. I'm asking for
No, I know. SEC game, SWAC game, one school out of Alabama and Mississippi on both of them. And the SWAC game had more draw than other games.
Attendance.
Listen, we look over real quick. They're not going to announce it on ESPN.
I'm about to say, why they
Stephen A. did say it.
That's crazy.
In a segment. But it deserves, even like the thing with Donna Staley, like it deserves more energy than it gets. And I don't know what that looks like.
Was that a rivalry game? Or just a SWAC game?
No, I don't think it's a rivalry game. I think it's a SWAC game.
It was Jackson State's homecoming.
Yeah, Jackson State homecoming.
Which, if anybody know anything about HBCUs, homecoming is one of those things. Is like, I'm not really going to the game. I'm going
to the tailgate.
I'm just going to tailgate.
I'm a party all weekend.
I'm going to the step show. I'm going to the step show all the way to the game.
But actually going to the game, I'm not really interested. 58,000 people, bro. That's ridiculous, bro.
That's ridiculous, and we ain't never seen anything like it. We've never seen anything like that.
No,
and I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do about
I don't know if I was just young at this point and I thought the crowds were bigger than they actually were. But for some reason, like I used, we went out to Alcorn when Steve McNair was playing, and to me, it looked like the stadium. I don't know if it actually was or not.
Well, it might have been. It might have been different stadiums too. It might have been different stadiums.
It might have been just a smaller stadium and everybody was there.
But when you're younger too, when you walk into a crowd, man,
you can't see over there.
You just know it's in here.
I went to that game. That's when they played them on ESPN too.
Yep, that's the game we was at. I remember
we had to sit on the hill. To watch the game because the hill was like right behind the end zone. We had to sit on. It was muddy. We had towels.
Wow.
And we had to sit on the hill. That's how.
No, we was at the same game because I mean, we didn't know. I don't think we knew each other at the time.
Back then, that was a long time ago.
But because I had just left I just left my little league football. We went in overtime.
People up there, now that you know back.
Right. What? Right. Found out the world ain't as big as you
right. But that's major, man.
Yeah, that's major for us.
And shout out to Prime.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? But just shout out to everybody that's working with the whole systems. Mm-hmm. I think people may be buying in.
Yeah. You
know what I'm saying, to what's going on? Because it's not just Prime saying come out everybody and then you're going to pack that out. It's a lot of different cogs and pieces that got to work. You know what I'm saying? But he's a major cog in there.
It's like one of the things, like the analogy I've seen, like, if your car break down on the side of the road, you just stand on the side of it, people just gonna keep passing you up.
Absolutely.
But if you start pushing it, you'll be surprised how many people hop out and start helping you push.
Absolutely. And this is the truth. That's the truth. And pushing direction for the kids. For the kids, for the program. I think that's huge. I can't say it enough.
Yeah.
That's huge. When I saw that picture came out, I think I saw him post it. And then I saw him post it, and I saw him post the clip about Stephen A.
Yeah,
talking about it. You know what I'm saying? Right. That's huge, bro. And as much as people want to maybe want to ignore it, I'm not sure they want to ignore it. Maybe some people don't care or whatever.
Right.
But that's huge, bro.
Yeah.
But somebody like Deion Sanders, far as the greatest defensive back to ever play the game.
Yep.
Right.
Okay. He's prime time.
Right.
I think for him to he always tell his life story, things that he's been through, right? And for him to be such at a high level, but it takes some type of it takes a lot of humility for him to go to Jackson State.
Absolutely.
Like, this is Deion Sanders we're talking about. I'm pretty sure if Deion Sanders wanted to be like an assistant coach at a Power 5 school, anybody would have hired. I'm pretty sure Florida State may would have hired him.
Just for recruiting sake. I don't know. Even if it's not for the X's and O's, I'm not saying he don't know him.
Right.
But even if it wasn't for the X's and O's, I think any team will pick him up to put him on their staff.
Florida State would have hired him as a DB coach.
Absolutely.
Anybody would have.
Absolutely. I mean, that's basically like what Ed Reed's doing right now for University of Miami. He's an ambassador. He's not a coach right now, but he's an ambassador for the team.
That's what he would have did. But I think for the humility, I think this is one of the things that we all big on in this room, right? Is about having purpose over popularity.
Yeah,
purpose over popularity.
I think that's what Deion is doing now.
Absolutely.
And he sees the bigger picture. He's not doing this for Jackson State.
Right.
He's doing this for all HBCU schools.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And if you hear his conversation, that's the way he talks.
That's all he talks about.
That's the way he talks.
The whole key is this, like we talked about earlier. With Ben Simmons, right?
Yeah.
And Ben Simmons and Zion, how sometimes you want to create your own lane and have your own thing and not follow the blueprint of a Kobe Bryant, the blueprint of a LeBron James.
Right.
So now what these other schools need to do, because Deion is not going to be there forever.
No.
Because I think a purpose, when you serve a certain purpose, it's time to move on to what's next. Like every person that wants to achieve greatness, what's next? What can I achieve?
Right.
And so I think once he leaves, what they need to do, he's laying out the blueprint. This is how it's done.
Yep.
So these schools like in the SWAC, the MEAC, if you're watching what he's doing, you can keep that thing rolling when he does transition.
See, like a school like Howard can easily follow behind that
because
they got the resources.
They
a number of very well off alumni that have come out of that school and give back. That's another issue about HBCUs.
Which you doggone right, Dante. God, dog, bro.
That is true.
But
don't get me, because I got a lot of conversations about that.
The number of Howard University alums that feed back into that school and give the resources back is in a great area.
That is true.
It's in a great area. All they got to do, they got to find the right coach.
Well, so here's my question. So here's what I'm saying about what we're saying right now. Is that how much of a difference does a Deion Sanders make? We can do the pattern.
Yeah.
And we can give the money, but
it makes a difference.
So here's my question. So I personally, this is my personal take on it. I think Deion's going to be there longer than a lot of us think. All right. Because I saw people like was Eddie Robinson at the Grambling, with it, right? I saw him, and he was big. You know what I'm saying? I saw him stay there for a long time.
And people would hire him.
Pete Richardson, right, was stayed there a long time. Like I saw them. These are guys and they were great coaches.
Yeah.
But and people would have hired them. Right. But I saw him stay there a long time, and I think for what if what we are saying is what the goal is.
Yeah.
For Prime, right? I think he's going to have to stay there for a while. And I think he'll have to get some things in place. Now, there's two things. When I say stay, I'm thinking of two things. I just thought about something just now.
Okay.
So is there a commissioner for the SWAC? You know what I'm saying? You know, like, you got to.
If there is, I've never met the man.
All right, because you know, like if there's a commissioner or somebody that's like over the whole,
I'm sure there is
the whole conference.
I could not tell you who that person is.
Because if he moves into a position like that, and if that position does hold any power in the SWAC per se, right? If he were to move in a position like this, then I don't know if he would want to, because he may want to stay on the field with the players, right?
Yeah, I don't see Deion doing well with suits.
No, I don't either. So which would mean it would have to be something different. But he's talking like a commissioner right now when he's saying I'll pay for the jerseys.
So they do have a commissioner, Dr. Charles McClellan.
There it is.
Yeah.
Anybody heard him?
How you doing, Dr. Charles?
Yeah, hey, Dr. Charles. All right.
shout out Dr. Charles McClellan.
Right? Yeah. So but even Deion saying stuff like, I'll buy the names on the back of the jerseys.
Names on the back of the jerseys.
That's conference commissioner type stuff. You know what I'm saying?
He paid for Alcorn State to have trainers.
Listen, see what I'm saying? And he said it. He said, "Call me."
Call me. Let me know what you need. Right?
So what I'm saying is that I love it. But that mentality is that's what it'll take. Somebody like Eddie George is a NFL, like almost Hall of Fame veteran. I don't know if he can go to Hall of Fame or not. I don't know. Yeah. Right? But a Heisman Trophy winner.
Yep.
Right? Like, I'm sure Eddie George could get on somewhere else or with another school. Like, I'm sure he can go on as a coach just because it's prestige. Yeah. Just because being an ambassador like Ed Reed. Right. But Eddie George decides to go to Tennessee State. And coach. Now, we can name some of these HBCU, and I don't know if they got the X's and the O's, but just your your popularity, your prestige can do a lot of things for your university.
Yeah, because Eddie George got Jeff Fisher on his staff.
That's crazy.
Coaching person that used to coach him in the league.
And I saw them. Yeah, right. Yeah, and I saw some highlights of that old Tennessee Titans team. Boy, it's crazy.
It's tough. Like you think about it, like people like Ray Lewis. I'm thinking about Ray Lewis. Like because I know they talked about one time he wanted to get in coaching. Mm-hmm. He's from Florida, but what he decides, I want to go to FAMU.
FAMU, right?
Man, why not?
So all right. So Dion, the ultimate goal. What does success look like
to him?
For him and for HBCU in general?
All right.
Like what? So for you guys right now, what does success look like down the line?
But honestly, it got to be what it look like to him because he's a visionary.
Right.
So I heard him say
because once he decides that this is successful and he wants to move on, then that's it.
Right,
like he might be out of there.
Right. So what do you think that level of success is?
What do it look like?
What do you think his end game is? So I have an idea.
I know what I hope it is.
Okay.
What I hope it is, he has something sustainable somewhere along the line of maybe a Longhorn network.
Okay.
For swag.
I didn't think about that.
Because the main thing that swag schools got a problem with, swag media schools. You can't find them nowhere.
That's true.
You can't find them nowhere. Like you got to dig real deep in ESPN 3.
Oh, you about to ESPN plus minus divided by 2.
Yeah, right.
You know the Ocho, like
the Ocho, right.
You gotta dig real deep to find it. Like I would hope, like
ESPN device,
and something. You don't. It doesn't even have to be like network television because now with the advent of the internet and streaming, it doesn't take a lot to like.
But it doesn't.
We're streaming this podcast.
Yo, it doesn't take a lot.
If y'all fans saw behind the scenes of what's going on,
it don't take a lot. It don't take a lot. I'm saying it don't take a lot.
It don't take a lot.
It don't take a lot.
You know, any listeners to the podcast, if you saw what was going on here, like it doesn't take a lot.
It don't.
So
it don't.
So you know,
relatively
place the infrastructure in place that you can heck make it student run. Like
right.
Make sure each one of these schools has an audio visual program at a school. It can be for extra credit or grade. Like y'all are producing this.
Man, culture can change, bro.
And now you're already getting that quote unquote experience that they always ask you about when you get out.
Right.
That you can't get if you ain't never had a job.
True.
You know what I'm saying?
At the same time, as you said it, Dante, you can really boost your broadcasting department.
Yeah.
And your mass comm department and have them running it to the point to where, and I think infrastructure will have to be, I think funds are needed, but it's relative. I think there are going to be some more funds needed that they can raise to get all of the stadiums up to par.
Yeah, they got to be TV made stadiums, TV ready stadiums.
Exactly, but
upgrade the infrastructure for TV.
Right, absolutely.
Upgrade the infrastructure to TV. For me, just watching the games as a longtime watcher of swag football.
Right.
Train your referees.
Oh, you took the words out of my mouth. They make the game, dude. It was a game.
They drag the games out. But it was a game
the other day, bro. It came on at 2:30. I think like 5 o'clock. It was in the second quarter. And I'm not exaggerating. They're way too long, bro.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, the referees.
Yeah, like what you said a couple episodes ago. When Jackson State was on TV, like it was something about the commentators and the presentation wasn't right.
Right.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like you have like some interns that are in the school. They gonna make sure that presentation.
They gonna make sure. They gonna, bro. You are representing my school.
Young commentators.
You are representing my school. You're representing my school at this point.
Right.
You are gonna. Don't worry. You are gonna have 3 of the same sheet laminated,
and it's gonna be
waiting on you.
It's gonna be entertaining too.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
What you need a spotter. You need somebody like they got this position called a spotter in the booth.
At this point, guys, we're working with nothing.
That's what I'm saying.
So anything.
Here's a question that I've always asked myself. Honestly, this is probably the first time I've ever said it out loud. Like I'll tune in, I'll watch a game, I'll catch like Southern and who Mississippi Valley or whoever playing on ESPN 3, and I ask myself, I'm like, what is Southern getting out of this?
I'm trying to
being buried on a channel that you got to have a subscription for. You know what I'm saying? That most times your fan base ain't gonna have subscriptions like this, right? So I'm wondering, like, what is it that y'all are getting out of this deal? Like, are you getting a check out of this? If not, if so, how big is it?
Happy to be here?
Or you just happy to have an ESPN banner like these little my brother used to play at Louisiana Tech.
Right.
When they would be on these like off network games like ESPN3, like honestly, the only difference was that they have a little 6x6 ESPN banner just like on a security gate.
Right.
Like zip tied to a security gate.
Right.
That's all.
The camera will make sure they catch that.
And I'm like, yo, what's the difference? We could have just did this without the TV breaks, and we could have been out of here in 2 hours.
Right. It's true. I think those are the conversations, the infrastructure, the setup for what's the point, who's benefiting, how can they benefit. I think once these schools realize how much they actually can benefit, because once again, you know, a big thing about that crowd that we talking about that's historic, that money that came in.
That's true.
Absolutely.
Because that's a bigger bag.
Absolutely.
Than they've seen.
That's bigger on
ever.
Concessions. That's bigger on the ticket sales.
Hey, bro. Hey, listen, all that. That's a bigger bag. Whatever they were selling, that's a bigger bag.
And it was more like internal, like, right?
Yeah.
Because that's your money.
But it's Jackson selling tickets.
Yeah.
It's just selling tickets. Just like I was talking to somebody the other day about why these high school teams. People don't understand why these high school teams want to boost and so much because they make paper
bank.
off of them football games.
Yeah.
When you was at Parkview, they was making bank off them games. You pack the game out, you making bank off of it. They ain't got to pay y'all nothing. They ain't got to pay y'all nothing. You already had the pads and the jersey. Somebody done bought that.
Somebody donated that.
So nobody ever talks about it, and that's okay because they don't have to.
Right.
But they're making bank off of these games, these high school games, these football, basketball, baseball, all these games.
I was talking to a local. I was talking to a local principal.
I thought about something.
Yeah.
I was talking to a local principal in one of our schools, and I just asked them because it was their homecoming, and you know if you play the homecoming game, you know what time it is, right?
Where you homecoming, boy? Where you homecoming? It's not it trash. Where you homecoming?
Where you homecoming, boy?
So you know what time it is, right?
Right.
So I asked, I was like, tell me, bro, like, what y'all do to be getting these teams to come? Oh, they wrote them a check for $10,000, and it was supposed to be a home at home, right? So basically, they come play you, you go play them. Basically, it's $5,000 for each game. Cool, basically, and basically what they told them was, look, we're gonna pay you we're gonna give you the $10,000, and you ain't gotta worry about it. We're not gonna come play y'all next year.
Now, if I can give you $10,000,
write the check with no heart.
Which brings me to the point of, I know we talk about NIL for college.
Yeah.
I was just thinking about that.
So now, Dante, you, you
trickle down.
I'm gonna use you and your dad, Mr. Dan Perkins, as an example. Shout out Dan Perkins.
Shout out
Dan Perkins.
Shout out.
I'm gonna use you guys as an example. You guys are avid high school football fans in general.
Yep.
All right. So, but when you go to a high school game, right? A lot of times you're not picking a certain team to go to.
No.
You're going to pick a player to go to, right?
Right.
So
I'm looking for the best game available.
Looking for the best game. So if you're going to looking for a certain player in high school, I'm going to watch him.
Yep.
Obviously, you're going to have the fans for the team, the parents there.
Yeah.
It's not that many.
Right.
Okay.
You also have the fans for the band kids.
For the band.
It's underrated,
right. But now,
how many of them there is?
I used to be one of those. I didn't have a kid, but I had a kid brother that I had to go to every game at Christian Life Academy and watch all them games. Shout out.
Rest in peace, Christian Life.
Yeah, so they're not going to they ain't going to whatever, pack it out.
Yeah.
So the other majority of fans, avid high school fans, are going to watch this quarterback or watch this receiver. So if you guys just not telling me if they can cut the opposing team $10,000,
come on, dog.
What is the big deal about? Hey, maybe this quarterback is drawing attention to our games. What's the big deal about doing an endorsement for those sponsors you see on the gates? Let's say it's sponsored by such and such real estate, John Doe Real Estate.
Chevrolet.
Chevrolet,
whoever. Car dealership.
Them little signs.
Yeah.
What's the big deal if that guy wants to go do a commercial for that particular company?
Bingo.
I think too.
Man,
I don't. So once again, we talk about we don't know if there's any regulation coming down.
But
high school.
Well, there's an. As
Is
long
that going to
as
fall under the 16-year-old?
No, as long as you are not representing a school at the same time that you are. This came from the National Federation of High Schools.
So you can't have the jersey on.
You can't wear it. You can't like be advertising. You know,
and they can't announce you as such quarterback.
Right,
or whatever.
You can't pull up in the Corvette with the with your number 12 jersey on,
right,
and hop out the car and say, "Hey, come down to such and such dealership and check us out."
There's ways to get around that.
You know what I'm saying? But you can do it. You can't advertise. You could put like quarterback. You can't put where you.
Yeah, right. Because I know there's two times we talk about this often about Perilou. Mm-hmm. I went to that game solely to watch him. I didn't go to that game.
A local attorney used his own son a couple of years ago.
Okay. I know. Yeah, he sure did.
Starts with a big G.
He sure did.
He did. Starts with a big G.
I remember that.
Yeah, he sure did.
And probably wrote it off on his taxes.
I remember that.
True.
Oh, the big G. The big G. Yeah. Sure did. He sure did.
He did. It's something on the commercial.
He sure did.
And his friend. Matter of fact, a couple of his friends, a couple of his teammates.
They was in there.
See, they're thinking like
and
that.
I ain't mad at them.
Hey, Doug.
I ain't mad at them.
Come on, Dad, Beckwith Foundation. That's we start talking about that with some of these parents and stuff like that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then that's a whole nother ballgame. Right. They could do deal with the parents. You know what I'm saying? It's just a whole bunch of ways you can do it to get it done. Right. But and I said and then I remember my homeboy, shout out to Jaron Wisham. Mm-hmm. I went to see Lutcher play the games that I saw just to go watch him.
Right.
And he was my homeboy, but he was also, top
very good.
And he ended up going to the league and everything. So
he was very good.
That's it. That's the only reason. When I used to come to LSU, and I've never been to an LSU game.
Right.
Y'all know that I've never been to an LSU game. I've never been inside the stadium.
You know
how?
I just never been. I never been.
Hey man, we got
that seems impossible.
Yeah,
exactly.
It does.
It's 100,000. It's 100,000 seat stadium. You went to school there.
No, look,
to school there.
I've never been to LSU
free
game.
tickets.
I've only been to one Saints game.
Okay.
Like in the Super
I ain't
Bowl.
worried about.
I ain't really worried about the Saints game.
I'm saying that
You never been to.
You were on campus.
I've been to one LSU game and I've been to one Saints game.
I've never been to LSU game.
You were on campus when you weren't supposed to be on campus.
But I was about to say I'm always tailgating. I was only supporting the game because you were playing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm there because of you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm buying jerseys because Georgia. You know what I'm saying? Whatever.
Right.
So, but I've never been to LSU game.
Huh.
Hey, bro, we gotta go, bro.
Yeah, right.
Can we go in the year that they winning? Not this year. Like let's whatever.
Wait till they got.
Because
You gotta go to a game, bro.
You
saw Dante took his shirt off.
Yeah. Get turned up, man. I'll get out there and cut up, boy. Dante said, I don't know what happened to me.
You gotta go, bro. You gotta experience it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. Y'all gonna take me, bro. We're gonna go and talk about together.
We're gonna do the whole pod. We're gonna do the Evergreen Pod.
We'll take it on the road.
Yeah, we do it live. We'll go live with Instagram and all that. Yeah.
We'll do a full on recording from the tailgate. And then
Let's go. I'm serious. Let's go. I'm with it. That'd be dope.
But again, once they start winning,
I'm not going this year. We can't go this year.
We can't go this year.
But what you said, I think, is a good idea because it's talking about empowering the players.
Right.
And if I'm coming to watch that player, then it is what it is.
Let's face
and from what you telling me, if I could write you a $10,000 check and then say I'm not even gonna come play y'all next year, every time I see somebody write somebody a check, I don't care if it's personal, I don't care if it's somebody go buy something at dinner or whatever. When I see somebody able to do something in a certain level, right? Majority of the time, there's somebody really stretching. Majority of the time, that shows me what is possible.
Okay.
In other words, if you're gonna pay me. I heard I'm watching Ro Marley. Bob Marley's son was on the podcast the other day, right? And he said they tried to offer them $20 million for the daddy's masters and everything, just the whole estate, the name, image, and likeness, right?
Nope.
Crazy. He said his sister said, well, if y'all gonna pay us 20,
somebody else will pay.
Then what is it worth to us?
Right. It's not enough.
And so many long story short, they have it. They have they kept it all. But I'm just saying, anytime somebody that's why we get ridiculous about these numbers. Boy, they paid $175 million.
We'll license it out to you. You can use it.
No, but that's how they make money. No, that's how you make the money.
Right.
So we got it. What y'all want to do? Well, this is how much it's going to cost to do it. Yeah. And you only got a year.
And that's the thing. So, like,
love it.
Another small tangent. Like, hey, when you it's different. I know a lot of people don't write checks no more.
Right.
But boy, it's a different feeling when you write a check. It's like when I bought my first house, I had to write a check. and I was looking at the.
You like this?
No matter, yeah. So I had to write the check, and I'm sitting there. I'm looking at the figure
on the
and the check,
and the word written out.
Because they say you, hey, come pick up this check, and this is what you're gonna go use to pay it all. You know, this the loan check. You sitting there, and I'm sitting there looking at the check, and I'm like. I'm looking around like I'm super paranoid because I ain't never had this much money in my hand.
No, for real, man.
So like, it's a different feeling when you writing a check.
It's a different feeling.
It's versus handing some cash over.
All right, y'all. This has been the Evergreen Pod. We appreciate y'all watching and subscribing. Make sure y'all watch us on YouTube. Doug, tell them what's up.
Follow us on Instagram at evergreen_pod. Follow us on TikTok, evergreen_pod, and also our YouTube channel, the Evergreen Pod. Like, subscribe, and share.
It's free to follow. Follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, Google Podcasts.
We'd like to shout out our producer Swag. We'd like to shout out our producer Jam. And EJ on the music, man. Appreciate y'all boys making us look good, making us sound good every week.
This is Evergreen Pod. We love y'all.